An exclusive use term is another provision that tenants should be aware of, particularly if you're in a competitive field or perhaps an impulse purchase retail field. So for example, you'd never want to see 2 or 3 convenience stores all in the same complex. So this particular provision will be very helpful if you have a lot of competitors in your sector or your industry. What it says basically is, landlord, please don't, or you cannot, have another tenant come into this complex while I'm operating that does the same sort of business that I do. Because think about what it would mean for your business if a competitor started up 2 doors down. Particularly if you're a specialty store, you don't want someone who's driving by and suddenly they have several options and they're price shopping from door to door. It's not a great business environment for anyone, and it's doing, frankly, the tenants and the landlord a disservice if there are too many similar types of businesses in a complex. An excellent time to raise this provision, in particular, is if the landlord is looking for a radius restriction. And that's where they're saying, I know that you have other options or other offices and storefronts, and I don't want you to have another location within 5, 10, 15 kilometers of this location. Because the landlord ultimately wants their complex to be successful. They want clients and customers coming into their parking lot because that allows them to raise rent over time. So if they're telling you, I don't want you splitting your business between here and the store up 3 blocks from here, you can go back and say, okay, I'm fine with that, but then you can't allow another specialty shoe store in this complex, that sort of thing. So again, that's another great provision to look for. And then the right to relocate. And this is a provision that tends to be buried near the end of a commercial lease agreement. What it does is it allows the landlord the right to basically rearrange their tenant map. They may work in a term that says, if we're adding an addition onto this mall, we have the right to relocate your leased premises on 1 month's notice, 2 months' notice, that sort of thing. So this is something that as a tenant you really do want to pay attention to. Maybe you're okay with the idea that they may want to relocate you, but perhaps you want to make sure that you're still on the same side so that returning customers can still see your sign. Maybe you're still getting the same walk-by traffic. Maybe it's important to you if you have a drive-through service that you always have an exterior wall. So this is something to pay attention to, particularly if you're entering into a mall complex. You want to make sure that you have proximity to an entrance or an elevator, that sort of thing. So it is certainly one to watch for. And it normally is buried right near the end of the commercial document, so take a look for it. And using the schedules, similar to what Chris Packham was mentioning in his discussion on getting agreements in writing, the schedules are there to really get at the specific facts of every negotiation or case. So if you have things that are very important to you, for example, if you have a drive-through business, or perhaps you have more exclusive uses that you would like the landlord to agree to, you can use the schedules to do that. A landlord is going to be more comfortable with adding an addendum as a schedule than they are with rearranging the body of their lease, because they know what their standard form lease says. What they don't know is this new language that you would like to add to it. So if you add it as a schedule, it's much clearer for the landlord to understand what you're really trying to get at. So don't be afraid to use the schedules. It's literally referred to in the body of the lease, and then you can list exactly what it is you're looking for in the schedules. Or similarly, if you have tenant work that needs to be done or landlord's work that you want the landlord to improve the space with, before you move in, use a schedule. It's a very clean, nice way to do it.